Okay, so we are back and we are live, and we're here for live readings tonight. Welcome to today's video where we are doing live readings. The first thing I'm going to do is check my sound, and then we will go from there just to make sure we are all good. Yay, it's better. Okay, so I'm going to try really hard not to touch it. So welcome to everyone jumping on for tonight's live readings. Today we're going to do readings that you can book with me in real time using the link in the chat, which I realized I need to move it to there. So there's going to be a link at the top of the chat where you can book, and the bookings are open. And these are super fun. Okay, Mark is saying good. Thank you for hanging in there with me, Mark, on that. And Mark was saying, Mark actually jumped on the last one and said that he thought the energies were looking not so good. Not in those words. All right, everybody. Welcome to tonight's live reading. So if you haven't been here, what we do is you can actually book a live reading with me in real time using the link. And if you book your reading today, you will get your reading today. And that's what we're doing. If you like watching the videos that are, what was I saying? I was saying something. I distracted myself from whatever I was just saying. If you like watching videos on the transits and the energy weather, you know what I mean? We have some new ones up, okay? We have a new one and we have some old ones that still apply. So there's a bunch of them that you can watch like in a row if you're in the mood. I'm always in the mood for astrology and energy reports. But life doesn't let me do that 24/7, unfortunately. All right. So what do we have? We have, I'm going to show you actually. I wanted to show you guys this because I thought it would just be more fun to demonstrate. So we're going to go to the channel and we're going to look at it. I'm going to show you what we've got going on, because there's so much content I have for you that you can watch for so many hours of your life. Really, you can. But here's the channel. So if you go to the channel and you start at the top, this is going to be whatever it thinks you want to watch. But then we have the most recent videos. So on the most recent videos, Mercury Direct for all signs is up. You can watch that for your sun, moon, and rising. And Neptune in Aries is also one you can watch for your sun, moon, and rising, as well as the solar eclipse in Aries and the lunar eclipse in Virgo. They're all going to be still relevant. Another one I did quite a while ago, is not even on here, that's still relevant is the nodes. Okay, and that one looks like, let me find it. Not that one. Close, close. This one. Okay, the orange one. No, that's not even it. Forget I said that. This one. This is the one. The nodes of 5.7 thousand views. It's the purple and greenish, turquoise-ish. That is actually still relevant because it's happening now. The nodes are still in Pisces and Virgo. So if you didn't see that one, watch that for your sun, moon, and rising as well. All right. So another quick announcement is I actually have a little sale going on a little mini course. And so I want to tell you guys about that. And I'm just going to show that to you too. It's better if you use the link because you need a code. It's like 30 node is the code. But let me show you the course really quick. By the way, I have courses, a bunch of them, all different price points. And is it not on here? Wait, hold on. That's not, oh, here it is. Yes, this is it. It's on sale, so it's not going to be this much through the end of today. So you can click buy now and put I think it's 30 node. Let's just see if that works. 30 node. Yeah, and see, it gives you money off and you can hit pay now. I accept and pay now. I don't know why it doesn't let me because it knows it's me. It's my account, I think. Or because I haven't put my stuff in. Anyway, this is what you get. It's cool. It tells you a new way to read the nodes that I learned after I did my videos. And if you're the kind of person that wants to know exactly what that is, yeah, it tells you right here. It's a little course. It's like less than an hour, I think. Maybe more than an hour. A little more than an hour, but it's cool because I'm going through the nodes and I know you guys love that shit. So check that out. Let me think. I think I can give you a direct link if I wrap my brain around it the right way, which is going to be, let me think. There's going to be a way that's easy. It's going to be, did I not do it there? Let me think. Oh, it's going to be in here. Right? There we go. This link. I found it. I found it and put in the link in for anyone who's interested in that. If you already booked your reading, let me know in the comments and I'll see you and I'll read your chart. I can't find our video though. Here we are. Oh my gosh, it's like, there we go. There, I did it. The link is in there. Okay. Okay, so that's what you can do. You can get that. And I totally did not have that. I did not have the right screen up that whole time. So I'll show you. This is what it looks like, the course. And like I said, it won't be this price. If you get it today, you'll get a 30% off. So if you want to read all this and see what it says about what I'm teaching in this little mini course, you can do that. And then you can click this button and it'll take you to the page like this. And this is where you put in the code 30 node, or you can just use the link I put in the chat. So that's what we have going on. We're doing live readings. How is everybody? How are you guys feeling with the energies? What is going on? Do you have big changes? Is it boring? Or do you feel a shift coming? How is everyone feeling? And let me get our chart up. And let me get our little blurb up. Okay, so yeah, we're doing personal live readings. You can book your reading using the link in the chat. It's pinned to the top. And then this chart on the screen, this could be your chart. How fun is it to get a reading online? I mean, it's so fun. So that's what we're doing. You can choose natal, transits, or lunar return. If you want to know about you and the energies within your life that will unfold repeatedly, the stories, the patterns that are going to get activated over and over again, then choose natal. If you want to know about how the energy is affecting you now, then choose transits. And if you want to know your 28-day cycle you're in and a little bit more about the energy snapshot of that cycle, then choose lunar return. And you can do more than one. So I don't know how long I'll be here tonight. Maybe this will be a quicker one than normal. And that's what we're doing. If you have questions, put your questions in the chat. Just know that I don't make exceptions. I don't do like special charts. I don't do solar returns on these. Those are all things you can book a private reading for though. And I love working with people on Zoom calls, it's just wonderful. But I would recommend, if you choose to do a Zoom call with me, to really have a clear idea of what you want to know, because I'm not going to be able to tune into the right thing if you haven't set some kind of intention. So it really is a good idea to set an intention. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes people make, is thinking I'm just going to know what you need to hear. Sometimes that does work out, but it's sometimes better if you tell me what you want to know. Okay, so for anyone jumping on, we are doing live readings. You can use the link at the top of the chat to book. And I'm going to hang out and chit chat with you guys for a little bit until someone does. There it is. Yes. Okay. I'm just making sure our link is working. Yes. Okay. So that is what we are doing. We're doing live readings. The chart on the screen, that could be your chart. And, these are so fun. Sometimes, if you're here and you're like, oh, I just want to watch and see someone else's chart get read, that's cool. Feel free to stay and hang out with us. It's always fun. It's always fun to see sometimes if maybe there's something in common with your chart and with the energies. Even when I'm talking about the transiting planets, sometimes maybe there's something you relate to in there. But if you want to know about yourself in particular, you can book a reading, and they go in the order they're received. I set a 7-minute timer. And then I keep talking until I'm done. So you'll get 7 minutes at least. And that's what we do. It's fun too. Like, why not have an astrologer read your chart? I started doing these to give people a stepping stone who maybe want to book a full reading and maybe aren't quite sure about my reading style, or want to, just want to see what I can get off of their chart. It's fun. It's fun because you don't know what it's going to be, and so there's that. And then I get people who maybe have already worked with me, and then they want to check in and see what's going on, and they're not ready to have another whole hour, but they still want to know what the energy is and everything. So yeah, that's what we do. And that's what we do. All right, so like I said, I'm just hanging out until I see that somebody has booked. So that's what we're doing. For anyone just jumping on, we're doing live readings. We're just hanging out until someone gets one. And then from there forward, we will be doing them. All right, guys. Who's going to be first tonight? Are we going to have a transit reading? Are we going to have a natal reading? Are we going to have a let me turn this off. My phone's distracting me. Are we going to have transit reading? Are we going to have a natal reading? Are we going to have a lunar return reading? If you've booked a reading, this would be a nice time to comment in the chat what you got out of it, if you liked it. Hopefully you didn't hate it. Mark's giving his info. Gemini, Sun, Mars, Mercury, South Node in the 7th. It is kind of interesting with the energy right now with, Venus is still with Saturn and I'm just like, I gotta be honest. I'm wanting it to be after Venus goes direct and passes Saturn, which is going to be not until, it feels like so far away. Not until like April 24th. And then at that point, we're almost to when Mars comes out of shadow. And then it's like, that's how I feel. Now, I try not to be like that, though. I try not to be waiting for a good transit because it's like, okay, maybe this transit isn't good for making money, but maybe it's good for reflecting, or maybe it's good for meditating or something, And I don't know. Do you guys do that? Do you try to like make the best of the energy? Because I feel like, of course, you're going to move forward in any energy, right? It's not like we're going to let the planets tell us not to do things. And even when I have clients ask me, like, when's a good time to start? I'm always like, now, start now. Because then when that next transit comes along, that's going to activate the potential of that success or that thing moving forward, whether it's 6 months from now, whether it's 3 years from now, you're going to have a transit sometime, right? It might not be the same as the transit where, someone won the lottery, but you're going to have the best transit of your career someday, and you're going to have the worst transit of your career someday. So why not step forward now to try to make the best of it now so that whenever that transit comes, you've got something that you have, like you've put the energy out to get back. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I think sometimes I know I get like this where sometimes I want to know the right choice ahead of time. I want to go to a psychic who tells me what choice to make. Why? Because I don't want to have to figure it out myself. I want to just, go straight for everything working. I want to just find the right path now. I don't want to like have to stumble. But part of life is the stumbling. Part of life is the walking on the path and seeing how it feels. I'm getting all preachy. Mark is saying you studied Kriya. Do you want to share anything about that? Okay, so let me gather myself here. We are doing live readings. We have openings. The bookings are open. Whoever books next will be next. So there's no line, there's no wait. And that's what we're doing. So yeah. It should be nice. And let me see if you have booked. Put your name in the chat. I have the hardest time with the names. Okay. We're doing live readings. There's a link at the top of the chat to book. Whoever books first will be first. You get to choose. Natal, transit, or lunar return. If you want to know about yourself, pick natal and your patterns, your unique energies. If you want to know about your transits, about the energies happening now, what's important right now, pick transits. And if you want to know what your 28-day cycle involves, like an energy snapshot of the next, not the next 28 days, your unique lunar cycle. It's different for everyone. So you might be on day 2, you might be on day 26, and then we would just look at the next one. But if you want to do that, pick lunar return. Mark is saying many years of meditation started in 1975. Wow, that's a while ago. That's a while ago. I am not someone who has I wouldn't say I don't meditate. I would say I don't meditate as a practice every day anymore like I used to. I do like to do it though. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful practice. Not Kriya though, just general meditation. But I don't know how you guys are, but I always am like, I want to meditate and I want to visualize, but they're different things, right? Meditating is a whole different thing of just meditating, right? Visualizing is cool. I took hypnotherapy classes. I trained in hypnotherapy. Visualization's a real legit thing. And you guys, I can't tell you how much I my visualizations come true so fucking insanely perfectly. Like if I visualize living in a house where there's a blender, I'm in a house and someone gives me a blender. Like it's crazy when I think about it, but I don't know what to visualize. You guys want to come up with something? We can just tell me what to visualize. Tell me what would be really fucking cool to visualize because I only it's like so hard for my brain to be creative. And I know that that sounds like an excuse, but if you have Saturn, Mercury like I do, you know what I'm talking about. You guys have not even seen me try to name a freaking course. I can't do it. I have to like ask Chat GPT or I just name it what it is. I'm like North Node course, Saturn. Um, Mark, I know it's okay. It does. It kind of goes off and on sometimes. Sometimes it's like right away someone will book, and sometimes I'll be talking for a little while, and then one person books, and then a bunch of other people. It's like, oh, you know what? I forgot to email everyone. Maybe that's why. Maybe I should do that. Um, but yeah, it's kind of does just like everything else, right? It's gonna have ebbs and flows. So I try not to think of it as like good or bad. And then you have to think about like time zones and stuff. I did not email everybody though. So I'm going to do that now. If anyone is jumping on, we are doing live readings and the bookings are open now. I was hoping to just do like 3. Even if I just did 3, I'd be happy. Oops. Let me I'm writing this email now. Um, that's not supposed to do that. Do. One second. Okay, Mark is saying, my Saturn is in the 12th house in Scorpio, Sag ascendant first house. Yeah, Saturn in the 12th is no joke as like a natal placement. It's a serious place for Saturn to be. I wouldn't say like, I try not to say it's bad, because like my Saturn's pretty bad. So, I mean, I'm not going to try to make you feel bad if you have a strong Saturn or it's actually, there's good and bad about Saturn in the 12th, but there's like, it's like you're required. Oh, are you saying this because you're telling me about the meditating? I get it. Yeah, it's like meditation is required in this lifetime. It's not optional. You know what I mean? So that would make so much sense if that's why you brought that up, Mark. I love that. Oh, thanks, Honorata. I actually did. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, why don't I do hypnotherapy more? I did like a course and I had to like help people, like work with clients, and I did see results with clients, and it's just hypnotherapy is one of those things people don't really understand. They think it's going to fix you, and it's like it's better if you want to fix yourself and you're already willing to do it and you want hypnotherapy to support. And what happened? I ended up getting a job at a recovery center, like a outpatient treatment center. Although they don't call it that. It's called like behavioral health services. Anyway, it didn't work very well with that population because they just, I don't know. Maybe I would have had to educate a lot more, but it's like I said, with hypnotherapy, you really have to want to make the change. If you want to quit smoking with it, you have to already want to quit smoking, and then hypnotherapy can help. If you think you don't want to quit, but you're going to just get hypnotized, it won't work because you don't already want to. Jen, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. That's so nice to come on and say that. I love it when you guys do that. It's always wonderful. Um, but yeah, I could talk a while about hypnotherapy. I've been thinking about maybe putting some more guided meditations on the channel. I think I've done it before, but maybe I took them down or something. This channel used to be just tarot. Yeah, just like people don't get it, and then it's like there's a disconnect between what people think it's going to be and what it actually is, right? It's like if you overeat and you want to do hypnotherapy for overeating, it'll help you realize the emotional stuff that you're overeating about if you're not aware of it, and you'll become aware, oh, I really need to do this instead. So it's actually, I think, a lot more healing, and internally it helps you internally resolve things. But I also think, if you have a pattern for 60 years and you do like one hypnotherapy, it's not going to be enough to like disrupt that whole pattern. But if you do it over and over, repetition is one of the things that makes it more powerful. And then there's also that like some people really are more suggestible. I'm not very suggestible in the sense that, like, if someone came up to you and was like, hey, you should do this, are you going to listen, or are you going to be like, no, I'm a no person? I am a no, thank you, I got it person. And people like that who are a little bit more on the not as easily influenced by others sometimes are not going to be as easily influenced by meditation or hypnotherapy unless they really, really trust the person doing it. Anyway, that's a little ramble about that. What do you guys think about hypnotherapy? Are you like into it or not? Sometimes I'm not into spiritual coaches who sell like guided meditations to help you change your life because I feel like it's not enough. And I feel like maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I just don't. It's not that you can't use guided meditations because I might make some. I think they're real and they can work. But it's like better if you specifically know what you want and like I used to do them and I would like make them for people. Like I would do a whole consultation with the person. about what they wanted to manifest and what their challenges were. And I would like build that into the script, and they'd be like, on a race car, on a car going up the mountain, you know, or like they'd have a backpack and they'd be throwing stuff into the campfire and releasing things. Gosh, I remember those days. Yeah, Anuradha is saying, I often fall asleep to hypnosis videos on YouTube, but don't honestly think I've seen a change. I think there is maybe there's a bit of a, I want to say disconnect between the subconscious realization or the healing versus the actual like path to wholeness. I feel like sometimes you need another person to work with another person really to make a true change. As much as I wish we could all do it all ourselves, myself included, even some of the changes that I've made, even you guys, before I even did astrology, and I was like, I was working and I was like doing TikTok videos, but not really all in on YouTube at that time. I was doing it, but I wasn't like trying too hard, you know? And then I had this really, really, really powerful coaching session where I just had this whole realization that I don't have to be perfect. And it wasn't that simple, right? It was just this realization that I am never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be the best astrologer. And that by me wanting to be further than I was holding myself back. And I realized that. And like a month later, I lost my job at the time that was very comfortable. And I didn't anticipate. And it threw me into this huge crisis. And there was a lot of other messed up stuff going on at that time. And it was just, I didn't have a lot of resilience. But I did start doing astrology readings then. And I wonder if that was like a spiritual lesson, you know, like that safety net of a job got pulled out from under me. I had nothing else I could do at that time but readings. And because I had had that coaching session, it was like I had the courage and a tool that I really needed to kind of just have the courage to start working with clients. Because when you work with clients, a lot of you I know will work with do your own services and stuff, whether you're doing it as a business or not. You have to go into the unknown. You have to be brave enough to go, I don't know how this reading's going to end or this session's going to end. I have to trust myself to not know everything in advance and pull out the tools needed. So, yeah, that's that. Yeah, maybe I should do some guided meditations though. I think meditating, especially meditating to cultivate emotional states, is very useful and like a good thing for the soul. I think it's good for the soul. You know, I think that's something we get to take with us into the next lifetime. Mark says, I've seen the Akashic Records for a few minutes. Wow. Yeah, I've gotten some Akashic Records readings. Some that were more just like reading, some that were more like energy work. I've dabbled in the Akashic Records, but it didn't seem like the right thing for me. Same with like human design, where like I like it. I'll know my type. I'll use my strategy. But it doesn't, I don't think I'm supposed to be a human design reader. Okay, enough rambling. Someone needs to book a reading. That would be good. It would be good if someone watching wants a reading. There are 3 options. Let me put up my little spiel. There's natal, transit, or lunar return. If you want to know about you, pick natal. If you want to know about the energy, pick transit. And if you want to know about your personal lunar cycle and what the energies are in store for that, then pick lunar return. And you can book more than one. Sometimes people will do a natal and they'll enjoy it. So then they'll do a transit reading or whatever. Hmm. Okay, so that's what we are doing. And I'm just going to chill for a minute. If you book and I don't see it, make sure you let me know. I think I have my sound on, but just in case. Yeah, hypnotherapy is cool too. I mean, even just visualization is something that ooh, do you does it include this full moon? I normally don't. I mean, if you want, we could do the full moon, but to be honest, I if you do transit, it'll be whatever's most important and it's probably not going to be that. It's probably going to be something else more pressing. 'Cause if I do the full moon, it's going to tell you how you're going to feel. And it's just I just don't get a lot on the full and new moons. Even when I did them as okay, yeah, if it's hitting important points, we can look at that. But I would say do that only if you do it knowing well, I'll probably talk about other stuff because the moon part won't take too long and I'll just talk about I can do the whole chart for that moment if you want. Um so if you want to do that, you can just pick transits and I'll know. When is the full moon? Let's just see. Let's pull it up for everyone else to see. Happening. No? Oh, I'm on hours, not days. The 11th. The 11th, so that is Friday. Full moon in Libra. With Venus retrograde. Right? So full moon in Libra, Venus retrograde conjunct Saturn. That's not fun. um, but Jupiter's trying the moon, so that's good. Yeah, we can totally do that, Jen, if you want to. Yeah, we can do, I will totally just do the full moon moment. And then if I run out, like I just have nothing else to say, I'll keep going to the next following days, whatever's the most, uh, catches my eye the most. I haven't had anyone ask for that, but it's a good idea, I think. Oh, Mark is saying, I'm just seeing this, Mark. At a specific instance I wanted to look at, I saw something I knew was important but didn't understand it. The records were opened for me but very specific. Did you like try? We're just chit-chatting about the Akashic records here. Were you like following a process to get to the records or was it something else? Very interesting. It seems like it's probably a super powerful experience, Mark. I actually had a friend who had a book on how to do it, so she let me borrow it and I followed that process. And then I don't know, I tried to get into it later again. I'm not against the records, but it's like I get more from just reading tarot than I do records. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Same thing with Reiki. Like if I was doing Reiki, a lot of people would get intuitive hits. Me, never. I'm just in the energy. But if I'm like doing a tarot reading, I can pick up on some things. Sometimes when I'm out and about, I pick up on some things I don't want to pick up on. Is anyone else like that? Sometimes I feel the energy and I'm like, I don't like this. It's I did not sign up for this shit, you know? Actually, I did. But I didn't know this is what I was signing up for when I got into all this energy work and stuff, that I would just know every time someone doesn't like me. I didn't know that was going to come with the territory. That I could get, I could do away with and be just fine. Okay, I'm just checking to see if anyone's booked yet, making sure everything's still good. Oh, for anyone jumping on, I have a little mini course right now on sale through the end of today on the nodes. It has the north and south node in the modern way, but also in the other way that I learned, which is more of a Vedic slash traditional. Reading the north node is increase, the south node is decrease, but it's really just different stuff. So you can get that on sale through the end of today. 30% off. Use the link in the chat. Okay, Cody's saying, Cody Tarot says tarot gives me the goods too. It does. It like, I just get stuff, you know. I don't get stuff any other way. I actually did dabble in just trying to do like psychic readings, and I would get stuff. Like, I remember getting like a beautiful wedding ring, and I was interviewing for a job doing it. So I was doing this sample reading for this lady, and I just saw this like shiny, beautiful wedding ring, but I didn't say anything. And then she told me later she was getting married. I was like, fuck, I should have said that. Anyone else do that? Ooh, Mark, it was a long time ago. Okay, so that was like a one-time deal. Okay, Mark is saying I tried everything but nothing worked, and then it suddenly unfolded. I had help from above. Interesting. Okay, then Anuradha is saying negative energy. Maybe, you know, I try not to get too far into this shit because it scares me a little bit. I definitely think that, like, is it possible? Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information, you know, and I've actually looked into this myself just because I want to know about how we can all do the best here with our spirituality and stuff. But I think, I mean, I don't think of it as like, I don't know still. I don't know. And the crazy thing about like, especially I was thinking more about like, can you be cursed and stuff? And the solution to that is to clean your house. Like it doesn't make sense. Why is that the solution? Because it's like clean your house emotionally, physically, spiritually, in any sense of the word. Clean house, because when you have a clean house, that shit can't get in. It's like it's like the demon might just be the voice that says I'm going to watch one more YouTube video instead of cleaning my room. And I don't mean to oversimplify for people who have like real issues with this, but it kind of scares me a little. So although I will say there are certain placements that can indicate someone might have paranormal experiences with like ghosts and shit. So that's a thing, you know, that's a thing. I'm not sure where to go with this though, because it's like the only thing I think we can do about the demons thing is like one side of it would be just, you know, keep ourselves clean. But then the other side of this, I've been reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead lately, and I've heard this from people who talk about like near death experiences or other things like this, that the trick, supposedly, if you're in the life between lives and you see a demon, is that you know that it's you. You don't be afraid of the scary ass demon because you know that it's you. And that's sort of like it's like the metaphor in life, like the demon is us, even if it seems external, but also like in the worlds between worlds and shit, we're supposed to not be afraid because it emanates from within us. And that's kind of the theme that runs through so far what I've read of this book is that there's a series of lights. And I will say the gray light takes you straight to hell. And it even says there's no telling how long you're going to get stuck there. But um, um, there's usually two different lights in this series of lights. Because if you pass, then you don't have any more. But if you don't pass, then they'll give you another like test or opportunity. And the commonality is the light that feels comfortable is not the light you're supposed to go to. There's a dull, comfortable light. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to go toward the bright light that is so bright it makes you uncomfortable. It's like so good it makes you uncomfortable. And then that's the one you're supposed to like just surrender to. Anyway, I'm not an expert on what you're supposed to do in the afterlife. I'm probably not an expert on this book, but I think there's something to it. You know, I don't think the Tibetans would have written this much shit about all the things you have to do, and the Egyptians would have like taken so much time to preserve their dead. I think our culture doesn't give enough reverence to the act of passing on from this world and what happens after that. Just my opinion. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Anuradha says scares me too. Exorcism, skeptical, but they seem sincere. I remember meeting a girl when I was in Korea, a lady who I think she had an exorcism because she was worried about, like, she thought she had, someone told her she had a demon and she went to a priest. And I remember her saying, like, I mean, if it's not real, fine, but like, just in case, you know? But it's like, yeah, I think there might be something to it, but it's like, I don't know. Some of that stuff just creeps me out a little. Like I don't usually watch movies about ghosts even. Yeah, Cody's saying there's numerous spirits. Cody probably knows you guys. Cody knows everything. um, but they are just numerous different energies. Most are harmless. One might make you feel 5 degrees hotter. Maybe I have that one. Huh. Yeah. Interesting. And then trying to share more. Let's see if I can see it over here. That's all I see. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I saw this one too, Cody, above here. Dope. I wish I was just psychic on its own. Okay, so I thought that too back when I was reading just tarot. Not just. When I was reading tarot. But I remember the people I was doing readings for at that time. I was like, man, I wish I could just do this without the cards. And they were like, I wouldn't want you to do it without the cards. And I remember being like, oh, because to me, it's like I want to have more psychic power, right? Like that's all I want to do in this whole life is just that. Um, and like if I could focus on one thing, that would be like the thing I want to develop the most. But um, some people, you know, they like that there are cards there, I guess. I never thought of it like that. So, like, there's a market for everything. Oh, Anuradha says, I wish there was a spirit that would make me just look 5 degrees hotter. Yeah, me too. Cody, can we get some info on that? I'm just kidding. There probably is though. Okay, and that's where I think that's where we get into like the real dark shit, right? Of like making deals with the devil and stuff because it's like there are I think there are like entities you can work with and you can ask for shit like that. But the thing is, like seriously, they are going to want something from you. So it's like nothing in the universe is free, right? So it's like I don't know, it's just like you have to I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You can even just work with Venus. You can work with Venus. That's where I'm gonna go. Yeah, see. But like you have to consider if you were a beauty spirit, what would you want? You know what I mean? Like whatever there's gonna be an exchange. Whether you believe there's an actual spirit or whatever, it's like everything, you have to like give something for everything. Okay. Jennifer booked. That's perfect. Perfect timing. Yeah, I do. I do, Anaretta. I don't like it because I don't feel like I know about it. But I think the true dark magic is when someone gets you to feel bad about yourself. Is like the psychological manipulation. Now, can someone like cast a spell and throw your life into darkness? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. But I don't like thinking like that cuz to me, when we think like that, we kind of give away our power even if it's true. It's like if you I don't know, if you're like, why is everyone so mean to me? And it's like, someone cursed me. It's dark magic. And it's like, actually, no, you're just not nice to them. I'm not saying that about you, but it's like, I see the victim mentality and that belief go hand in hand. So I want to be more like of an empowered believer in all the things. Ooh, interesting. Cody, you need to teach us this. If you remove one, it's good to send them off with a compatible spirit. Oh, I would like to know more about this. Very interesting. Okay, we're gonna focus on the reading at hand, which is the full moon reading for Jennifer. So let me get your chart up here, and then if anyone else wants to book, you'll be next. You'll be after Jennifer. I mean, don't feel like you're on the spot or anything. Let me make sure I got the right one. There we go. And then let me get the chart back up here. And then we're going to find that full moon you asked about. There we go. That's close enough, I think. Wait, where's the sun? Oh, hold on. Nope. Let me fix that because I just went to your own sun instead of the sun. It's still going to be the 12th, but no, it's not. It might be the 11th. I thought I just said it was the 11th. Now I'm thinking it's the 12th. Yeah, so it's Saturday. I lied. Earlier I said it was Friday. Okay. I got it on the right day. I have not started your timer yet. Let's finish Cody's thought and then we will go on. So Cody's saying the universe usually adjusts spells to make them more effective and kind in their application. Using spells on yourself can help. Interesting. All right. Okay, new topic, Jennifer. Transits the full moon. You are right. It is hitting some important points. Just the sun being on the midheaven is like a time of year where work is going to be in a high amount of focus. And it's in Aries, so it's exalted. So this full moon is like kind of like a supercharged energy toward career. Now, we do have Chiron here though. So it makes me feel like maybe you have a moment around the 12th where career is in focus for you, work, your life purpose, your where you're what you're doing to move forward. It could be your work is in the spotlight or featured, but it can also just be you're thinking about the path ahead. And with Chiron here, maybe you're thinking about the Chiron in the ninth wound of feeling like you can see the path for everyone else, but don't know what it is for yourself. Feeling like um, you can help anyone else with their spirituality, but if it's yours, you're like, I don't know, you feel more lost. Or Chiron in the ninth can be also, it is the wound of feeling like God or whatever isn't looking out for you. And so maybe there is a little bit of an illumination of whatever parts of you might have those feelings. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, but with entering that ninth house, there might be some feelings and some focus on like, what is my path? And maybe this is actually a moment of clarity where you get a knowingness and you're like, I know what I need to do. I know what fear I need to go through. So I feel like that actually feels more right. That there's going to be the potential for clarity and illumination of the path ahead and the meaningful path ahead and just what fear you have to face or demon you have to overcome since we're talking about demons. Your own personal whatever that's like maybe uncomfortable, but it's supposed to be dealt with, that kind of thing. That might be what's happening here. Okay, what else? Well, let's consider Venus because actually, no, let's start with considering that your sun is in the third as well, and that rules your ascendant. So, full moon conjunct your midheaven opposite the sun. So, set third with the full moon opposite sometimes will make you feel like you're pulled in, you're stretched in a few directions. So we have the third house direction and the ninth house direction. And this axis, people don't know this, but it's like heaven and earth. So you might be stretched between heaven and earth. So that might be, you said, oh my God, I feel that. Okay. So then being stretched from heaven and earth can be something more day to day, like you're trying to teach something and learn enough to turn around and teach it. You're trying to communicate something and maybe there's a feeling of not knowing enough. Chiron in the ninth, I need to learn more. It's not enough, and like feeling like torn between those two energies of I need to learn more versus I need to share what I already know or communicate about it. The energy of I need to take in spiritual information versus I need to produce or put out spiritual, like broadcast spiritual information. Also, because Libra represents relationships and Aries is all about independence, you might feel like there is someone else who is pulling you away from what you want to be doing. And with any kind of a opposition, it's like a seesaw where you're like your natural energy is going to be dive all into one side of this axis and then dive into the other. So this could also be about yourself or others. And maybe, that Libra sun needs to dive into what you want to do on your path. And maybe there's going to be a few moments where you can just focus on that. And that might be like a journaling thing or a realization or something like that, or a commitment or a decision to stop waiting for permission for something or stop waiting for someone else to tell you it's a good idea to go do a certain thing. And to just do it. Now that could be something kind of little because it's just a full moon, right? So it's not a eclipse or something else humongous. But, so I'm thinking something like, okay, there's this book I always wanted to read, but I feel like I need to be this place before I can read it. You go buy the book. Oh yeah, sibling, third house is sibling home pulling me from my freedom, younger sibling. Makes so much sense. So this might be a time where that issue becomes its fullest. Okay. It's going to be the biggest, meaning it's still on its way to being full, meaning, we're not done yet, but then after the 12th, after the full moon, maybe it might start winding down. I think the sibling stuff will be really, really activated here, especially considering Mercury also rules siblings. And it's conjunct your sun, so it's going to activate that as well. And then let's see what Venus is doing here. And Venus is important because Venus rules this full moon. And Venus is conjunct Saturn in the eighth house of other people's problems. You know, it's not even other people's problems, but with Saturn here it is. So, sibling becoming a burden is literally this transit. Okay, so feeling that burden, and I'll just tell you, um, that the transit part of it, the full moon is going to really illuminate it, but I think that you're going to be dealing with this you're going to probably be dealing with the responsibility and what you have to deal with most acutely through the 24th. And then from that point, it's not like your siblings going away, but maybe this particular issue is going to become less of a burden to you. And that I would say that is going to really be less of a burden closer to the 30th of April. Let me know if that timeline just makes sense based on your life. But yeah, that could not have been more literal. Finding the balance, finding work after becoming his sole caregiver last year. Okay, yeah. Okay. So maybe something's happening now at this point that you're like, okay, if I sacrifice this thing and I like get him into a schedule or something, I don't know. Um, then the metaphor I think of, and this might not be you, is like I had a friend who was doing like sleep training for her kid, and it was rough because it like you have to keep them up, and they're gonna cry. But once you get them into the routine for like 3 days, they sleep better. In her case, she didn't complete it, but that's the metaphor I think of with you. Like now is what kind of sacrifices are you making now so that you're going to be on a different schedule or something else that you'll be able to have like a system in place or something that it'll be get easier. I don't know what makes it easier, but I almost wonder, especially with Venus hitting Neptune in Aries, closer to the 30th, I wonder if that might have something to do with getting your sibling to like into some kind of like watching some kind of show or like a movie or like a learning channel or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be something else. Maybe it won't be that. But the timer went off. I'm going to check in and see if anything else from the full moon jumps out at me. And maybe the wound of Chiron is that too, of like, facing some of that sort of challenge and some of that, just what you have to deal with that. And the feeling of, where's the path in all of this? Where's the meaning in all of this? And let me see. I think I'll just go with Jupiter because why not just end with something positive? Jupiter is trining the full moon by sign and trining your sun by sign. So you're going to have a Jupiter. I don't know if I told you this, but you're going to have Jupiter trine your sun and Mercury in mid-May. So I would say book another reading before then so we can talk more about it. Jupiter is going to trine your sun, which is that's your life direction. So there might be more opportunities. Maybe something opens up at work or you learn something, or maybe you really do figure something out with the sibling situation that frees you up to expand your life in a different way. That's like growth and learning or being more social, especially, or maybe, his life becomes more social and that affects you in a positive way too. Okay. You don't know. You'll just get another reading then. Okay. We can do that. We can do that. Okay. So we'll end with that, just knowing there's good stuff coming. Now I have to temper that, right? Because You probably know, most people know, but just in case, even someone's watching who's like, Jupiter, ah. Because what I did when I first learned astrology was I thought every Jupiter transit was going to be the best thing ever. And it's like, if it's never happened before and you're like 30, I'm not saying nothing good can ever happen. You can never have a really, really good transit, but like the Jupiter's not going to give you a whole new chart. You know what I mean? It'll be better for you based on what your life is. Sorry that has to be so real, but the reason why I do that is because I know that there are some people who gravitate toward astrology are going to be like I was and be a little bit more, oh, Jupiter's going to solve all my problems. Nope, you're going to solve your problems. Jupiter's just going to help you a little bit. or, you maybe you're not going to solve certain problems. I don't know. But like sometimes Jupiter can only do so much. Like sometimes the problem is so bad that Jupiter can't do as much, you know? I was just talking about this. I'm rambling now, Jen. That I've often seen, not just once, but I've often seen Jupiter in the seventh is when someone gets a divorce. Why? Because Jupiter made it better. It was bad. It was bad before. And it's not like you have to be happy, be grateful. I don't do that like forced positivity when something sucks. Getting a divorce usually isn't fun, even if the marriage is bad. No one likes it. But sometimes that's all Jupiter can do is end the bad thing. And that is the blessing. Cody's asking, would you say Uranus transits are usually beneficial? Not always. Not always. Sometimes they end marriages. Sometimes they are when people cheat. Sometimes they are when people unexpectedly, get broken up with and they didn't see it coming. Sometimes people move and sometimes those moves are good. Sometimes they're not. It kind of depends on what planet Uranus is hitting, what that natal promise already is. If someone has like a Mars Uranus transit, that could be an explosion, so Uranus isn't always good. But it can be. It can be. So because change can be good. And sometimes whether a Uranus transit is good or bad depends on how you feel about change and how much you like stability versus chaos. If you're really mutable, or you're just like a fun person who likes change, you might enjoy those Uranus transits because they're different and they can be refreshing for people. If you're bored, they're refreshing. But if you're not bored and you really loved your marriage and Uranus is the end to it, it's, you know what I mean? Like it's totally different for everyone. Yeah. Uranus, Jupiter is very good for good changes. It depend, and it's going to go back to what does Jupiter rule. And I'll tell you what mine was, because I did this in the last astrology course I did. We had to kind of study all the outer planet transits in our own life. Mine was when I went to treatment when I was like 14, 13. And the cool thing is, when I was, well, the cool thing is Jupiter rules my fourth house of home and family. So then I have Jupiter in the sixth house of habits. So then what did I do? I got sober. I changed a family habit, right? Because my mom and my dad both drink, and like a lot, which I mean, I love them dearly. I wouldn't want to change them, but it was definitely a family, like thing, right? A family thing that I changed. So I rose above that and changed it. And I also moved, right? So Jupiter rules the home. So I literally moved Jupiter in the sixth house. I moved to somewhere else to change a habit, a family habit. Like how amazing is astrology? There have been so many times where that that happened, like I'm reviewing it and I'm like, damn, those houses are really accurate. Damn, that transit really hit exactly, like it's just amazing. Yeah, Cody's saying save me from my boredom, Uranus. Yeah, I also had another Uranus transit that was Uranus hitting my north node, but also opposite Mars. And that's when I started working remotely. And also when I learned astrology, I do think Uranus North Node can be an astrology transit. Like it happens once, once in an 80-year period. Uranus will hit your North Node conjunct it. And a lot of people, that's like when they start doing astrology. But yeah, I bet you love Uranus when it's on Jupiter. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I think I, does anyone else want a book? I'll give it a little more time. It today, it just sometimes it takes a minute for people to like join the live and realize it's going and come say hi. Let's go this way. If no one else wants to, I will just go and come back maybe on Friday. So let me know in the chat actually if you want to book and I'll extend it and someone else can join. Because it got late fast. I know 8 isn't that late, but I'm a grandma over here and I like to be in my jammies at 9. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I do. It's like a switch in my brain shuts off at 9 p.m. It's the weirdest thing. Even if I'm used to staying up later, it's just like, that's just the time. It's always been that way, even when I was young. Okay. So I think we'll just call it good there. Okay. We're going to go. We're going to do more lives on Friday. So come join us on Friday. Mark said, okay, thanks. Thank you to Jen for booking. I hope that was helpful. I hope it got something out of it. I think so, because I got the crying emoji. So, and also thanks to Cody for sharing everything, making that so interesting. Thanks to everyone for being here, chit chatting. Mark, Honorata. Thanks to Mark for coming back, you guys. I actually tried going live before this, and the sound was weird, so I came back. Mark was there hanging out and chatting. And yeah, I'm going to go. So, also, don't forget to grab my little, yes, it was. Oh, good. Oh, good. Don't forget to grab my little mini course if you want to get it on sale. Tonight's the last night. There is a link in the chat. I'm just going to put it up here. I don't think you can click on it, but if you can't, I mean, you can scroll up and click on it, or you can just go to my page and then type 30 node, 30 NODE. That is the code. It goes from like 17 down to like 11 something. So you can get that. Today's the last day. It's just a fun little videos, like an hour or something, a little over an hour of me talking about the North and South Node in modern versus Vedic traditional. And I give interpretations, kind of short ones, for the signs in both systems. So you can get an idea of that added layer, A lot of you already are going to have watched my modern North Node in the signs videos. Um, and yeah, Jen's asking, let me see your question, Jen. I was wondering how midheaven is start of 10th house. It is always going to be the start of the 10th house in Placidus. That's just how it's defined. It's the same thing. But in whole sign, it moves because why? Because they have taken the chart and they've backed it up. So they took that line and they moved it to the beginning of the sign. So if your midheaven is 0, maybe it might ever be that, but almost nobody's is. It's not common. So, yeah, the midheaven in whole sign can be in the 10th house. It can be in the 11th, the 9th. It can even be in the 8th or the 12th. And so the idea is that it adds a layer of what you do. Like someone with midheaven in the 9th, maybe they're an astrologer, and in the 11th, maybe they work with groups. But either way, your midheaven is still the same. It's just we're looking at it. It's like we're just slicing the pieces of pizza and at different places. That's my wonderful explanation of that. Okay, I hope you guys have a good night. It was good to see you all, and I will see you beautiful